so a number of exits are being looked at as well. A lot of the viewers are saying what's happening with Ziyech, what's happening with Werner. Of course, Pulisic is linked with a move to Liverpool of all clubs, which again for me was completely out of nowhere. They were linked with him. Exits from Chelsea. What are you hearing, and who's next likely to be on that chopping block?
I mean, look, Pulisic for me is the one that is the most interesting at the moment. Jurgen Klopp, huge admirer of Pulisic, and when he actually joined Chelsea, it kind of caught us out because actually all the talk was that he was going to go to Liverpool, and people in the US thought he would end up at Liverpool with Klopp. There's a good bond there with Pulisic's family, who was so important in his career. It was felt that Liverpool wanted to embrace like not only the player and the level he was already at, but also obviously the fact that he's American is significant for clubs right now. For Pulisic himself, he is in a position where he is having to weigh up what happens next. The World Cup is just around the corner for him. He wants to be in good form for that competition. Obviously, the US are in England and Wales group at the World Cup. And look, people here might look at that as an easy fixture against the US. I can promise you it is not. Like as in my other life on Ranks FC, and as somebody who's married into an American family, I watch a lot of that team, and I've watched it grow. And there are reasons to believe that US team could not only give England a good game, but could actually get out of that group. But Pulisic is integral to it. And one of the things that Pulisic does is he really leans heavily on his dad for advice and has done throughout his career. And his dad's kind of managed him carefully. And I spoke to his dad when he came into Chelsea, and he told me how he was settling, and he was, he really is. This is a very, very serious football family who have had to very carefully manage their path to make sure that he went from being US wonder boy, who was spoken about to be the greatest thing the country had ever produced in soccer, to actually making it big. And he's there, but he's not quite. Like, I feel there have been times at Chelsea, was it the back end of the season before, when like he was deciding big games? He was the guy for the big occasion. He was like in everyone's FPL teams. Like Pulisic had this run of a couple of months where he was brilliant. At Chelsea right now, it hasn't been going that good for him. Look, he splits the Chelsea fan base. There's no doubt about that. I see some Chelsea fans who get him. I see some Chelsea fans that don't get it. One source that I speak to thinks that it's quite likely that he leaves. And if that's the case, if he thinks that and Liverpool are in the market, then I think it is the best place for Pulisic to end up next. He would fit that team perfectly. Klopp would get him 100%. They've got a spot opening up if Mane leaves, whereby they can continue to rotate that front line. Pulisic can play different roles within it. He's got the work rate. He's got the right mentality. I genuinely think that if Pulisic is going to leave, then he should go to Liverpool. And as I say, like that was the hot rumor like a few years ago. So it might just be one to watch out for.
It's an intriguing one. I'm just sort of listening to you, and obviously, I mean, you made one mistake in there, Dean. You said the word soccer, and people don't like
I did it on purpose because I was talking about America. I had to say soccer.
I know. It's funny. Sometimes I share your stuff, and they're like, "I can't take Dean seriously." Oh, why? He has soccer.
He's got soccer in his name. Well, Dean Jones' football was taken, and I was like, well, like most of my audience is American, so I might as well just use soccer. And then I've got loads of people being like, soccer. It's like, what about Soccer AM? It's the biggest football show we've ever had in this country. Everyone's forgotten about the main word in it.
Yeah, it's such an interesting one. But on Pulisic, I'm just reading the comments. I'm kind of like Chelsea fans are predominantly, as far as I've seen, and I'm not looking at all the Chelsea forums and don't follow everyone that's a Chelsea fan. It's like, oh, we're kind of happy for him to go. We want better. Now that he's linked to Liverpool, suddenly there is this, oh, hang on. We've had KDB. We've had Mo Salah. Could Pulisic leave, go to one of their big rivals in England and flourish? That would be that is the fear in this.
Yeah.
That is the real big fear in this situation. Now, as KJ puts up there, like of course, Pulisic does have an injury record worry as well. There's no doubt about it. But at the right price, under Jurgen Klopp. Nearly every single signing that Jurgen Klopp makes works. Nearly every single signing. I can almost see I can feel the fear in the responses from Chelsea fans when they see that link. Almost as if to say, although we may not want him, we definitely don't want him going 250 miles north to Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. You know, he'll become a better player. He'll develop asthma, but he'll become a better player. Whatever it is they're doing up there, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, him going to Liverpool could be absolutely massive, with Mane sort of being on the cusp of leaving, Mo Salah's contract situations.
Yeah.
It's certainly an intriguing one.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, like once if Liverpool are interested in one of your players, you're like, you've got to be part of you. It's like, hang on, why? If they're interested in our player, do we definitely want to be getting rid of him? Don't forget too, Chelsea's new ownership, the American connection there. Not entirely convinced they would want Pulisic leaving right now. Like from a sporting point of view, from a shirt sales point of view, whichever way you want to dress it up, like Pulisic is a great asset to have in the Premier League. There is no doubt about that. I know people talk about his injury record. Look, he's probably missed about half the amount of games though that Ousmane Dembele has. So if you're on one hand saying we're happy for Pulisic to go, he's always injured, but then you're signing Ousmane Dembele, who's been injured for twice as long, then you need to sort out what your judgment is here, because like that doesn't add up. And Pulisic, I think a lot of his injury, I think he had a abductor injury. Did he have a tear or something? Anyway, it was it's not the same sort of injuries that a Dembele has had, who relies on pace, whose hamstrings have had caused him problems. So look, we'll see. I personally, as I say, have been told that Pulisic could go. And if that's the case, I only see him in England anyway, going to Liverpool. If not, then maybe other opportunities open up. Look, AC Milan are about to have a big buyout and are looking for a new attacking creator. Maybe he comes onto their radar instead of someone like Raheem Sterling that they've also looked at. Like there are going to be other opportunities that crop up.
Yeah, listen, and yeah, it's going to be intriguing to see how it works out. And it's just one of those. It's one of those transfers that I like because it's so split. We had Matty there who put the comment up. Listen, I'll drive him to Liverpool myself. I don't care if he leaves.
Yeah, I know Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea fans say that. Yeah.
And it's like he could go there, be this injury flop. Dembele comes in, maybe the beautiful English weather fixes his muscles. It works perfectly. He's suited to the climate here. And, we've seen this, I'm being very flippant there. No one take that seriously. I know that, relax, right? It's a joke. But he comes to Chelsea and kills it and fulfills his potential. Pulisic goes up there and is a crock, and Liverpool regress because of it. Like, so many things can happen. But at the same time, he leaves, goes to Liverpool, and turns into the new Mo Salah. There is this element of not again. Like the fact that KDB, like right now, KDB and Mo Salah should be in this Chelsea team. And that changes how good Chelsea are. Like Chelsea are a different team if those two are there right now. Could Pulisic be that guy?